I'm Doug Rothwell, President and CEO of Business Leaders for Michigan, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about a study that we did this month that looks at how Michigan stacks up to other states we compete with for jobs. This was a study that was conducted by a big management consulting firm called McKinsey & Company, and it was the second time we did a study like this. It's posted on our website at businessleadersformichigan.com. That we looked at about 200 different factors that businesses consider when they're deciding where to locate their business. And essentially what we found is that Michigan doesn't score so well. We are higher than most states in terms of what it costs to be here, about 4% more than the national average. We also found that our workforce isn't as well educated as a lot of other states. We are actually below the national average in terms of the percentage of our population with college degrees. And we also have a little bit of a problem with our perception, and that is that people perceive Michigan, and especially Detroit, as not a great place to live. But we also found that there were some positives, things that we can build on for our future. For example, we found that we had a great workforce with technical skills. We have the #1 concentration of engineers anywhere in the country, which is a discipline that a lot of different industries need to grow and thrive. We have a technically trained workforce that actually we have more people with community college and technical degrees than the average in the United States. And we also have done pretty well compared to even places like California and Massachusetts when you adjust for the amount of research dollars that are spent in terms of actually with transferring the technology and the knowledge in our universities into patents and into the startup of new companies. So what that shows is that we do have some assets to build on. And even when you look at quality of life, while the perception isn't very good, if you actually look at places like Detroit in terms of the cultural assets that we have, the sports amenities that we have, and the outdoors that we have in Michigan, in a very objective way, we stack up well to most other regions around the country. So what this means for us is that it helps feed into what we need to do to make Michigan a better place to live and a better place to grow jobs. We used much of the results from the benchmarking to create the Michigan Turnaround Plan, which you can also find at businessleadersformichigan.com or at its own website, michiganturnaroundplan.com. And that plan really charts the way forward in terms of using this data to actually make improvements for the future. What our commitment is to continue to do this benchmarking year after year so that we can objectively educate people about where Michigan stacks up, and also what we can do to improve the way we do business and improve our state going forward in the future. So encourage you to take a look at these reports. Very interesting data, a lot of information there way beyond what I just described for you today. Why care about it? Well, you know, everybody hears today that we live in this global world and we have all this competition for jobs and people around the world. A lot of great places to live, a lot of great places where companies can grow and invest. Benchmarking is important because what it does is it shows how you stack up to not only your competitors but other places around the country and around the world. It gives you the data to be able to very objectively see how you compare. And unless you know what your competition looks like, it's hard to know whether you need to do better or not. It's what companies do all the time. They constantly look at what each other is doing. It's frankly what we do probably in our own lives more than we even think about, because you really get down to it is you're competing for your own career every day in terms of how you stack up to other folks that want to have the same kind of job that you do. So that's what we do with benchmarking our economy, is we look at what the rest of our competitor states and competitor countries are doing so that we can look at ourselves and say, what can we do to be better so that we can grow more jobs and grow the economy in the future.